Hello friends, this is the second part of my video titled How Bangladesh Became Muslim. Please watch the first part by clicking the video on the screen, otherwise understanding this video would be difficult. So let's get started.
As the Mughal Empire grew weaker, the local Nawabs of Bengal became more and more independent, and ultimately the British defeated the most powerful of them. Sirajud-Dowlah was defeated by the British in the Battle of Plassey, and then the British ruled the region of Bengal until 1947. After that, they had to leave the Indian subcontinent because of the struggles of our freedom fighters. By 1948, we had got rid of the Rajas, Maharajas, Nawabs and the Nizam, and by 1950, when our constitution came up, Republic of India was born. But way back in 1905, the British, in order to increase the differences between Hindus and Muslims and weaken the freedom movement, divided the Bengal region into West and East Bengal. Before leaving India, the British partitioned their Indian territory on religious lines, so East Bengal became East Pakistan as it was Muslim majority, but soon the West Pakistanis imposed Urdu language on their compatriots on the eastern side, which was not liked by the Bengali speakers of East Pakistan. There was a revolt by the Bengalis and many innocent people died. With India's help, East Pakistan got separated from West one and became Bangladesh in 1971. As you can see in the census report, during the middle of 20th century, Hindu population was around 22%, which has decreased to below 8% in 2022 in Bangladesh. At the same time, the Buddhist percentage remained more or less same, that is below 1%, and the Christians have even lower percent. Clearly, many Hindus have migrated to other countries, especially India, as it is a Hindu majority nation, or have converted to Islam. But who is a Hindu? The word Hindu was initially a geographical one, but over the century it has become religious.
But the Bharatas called their land Sapta Sindhu. And this idea of Sapta Sindhu was what other countries began to call it. So if you read the Avesta, which was the Iranian text from roughly the same time, they mention the Sapta Sindhu in there, except they changed the pronunciation to Hapta Hindu. And that is the word where Hindu comes. It is a mispronunciation of the word Sindhu. And Hapta Hindu then becomes the word by which the people in the Middle East begin to know the Indians. But notice that the word Sapta Sindhu was a geographical term used by the Bharatas to describe themselves. So eventually what happened, as the idea of Indic civilization grew, the idea of Sapta Sindhu also grew. So that is why you have in fact a chant in much later times, from Puranic times, which is still used quite widely, and they chant out 7 rivers. But then those 7 rivers have changed from these tiny number of rivers in and around Haryana to include later the Ganga, the Godavari, the Krishna, the Narmada, and so on. So what you can see is, just like the civilizational idea is spreading, the geographical idea is also spreading.
Dr. Zakir Naik, the Islamic preacher who is wanted by the Indian authorities, in one of his videos have called himself a Hindu by geography.
If you say you're a Hindu, by definition, Hindu is a person who lives in India. Hindu is a geographical definition. You don't know, I know. I'm a Hindu by geographical definition. I'm a Hindu. Geographically, sister, the word Hindu was first used by the Arabs. There are many Arabs here. They call me Hindi when I go there. Hindi. They tell I'm a Hindu. The word Hindu was first used by the Arabs when they came to India. It was also used by the Persians to describe the people who lived in India. So geographically, I'm a Hindu.
Today, it is a common word for anybody who follows Vaishnavism, Shaivism and Shaktism. Though 90% of Hindus are from the Indian subcontinent and most of the remaining ones are migrants to other countries, there are some people outside the subcontinent
Who are embracing Hinduism.
but are not from this region. Like Julia Roberts, a famous Hollywood actress, an American politician, and Sukmawati Sukarnoputri, daughter of former Indonesian president.
Vaishnavism is one of the major religions of India. Vaishnavism is also known as Bhagavatism. This sect regards Vishnu as the supreme god. Shaivism is the name given to the practice of worshipping Lord Shiva as the highest supreme Brahman. Shaivism is practiced widely throughout India and has many distinct regional variations in both philosophy and practice. Shaktism refers to worship of goddess Shakti. Shaktadharma is the science of cultivation of power. Its followers also consider the Shakta religion as old as the ancient Vedic religion. The followers of Shakti are often called Shaktas. Shaktism reveres the Supreme as the Divine Mother, Shakti or Devi, in her many forms, both gentle and fierce.
In spite of the Hindu population reducing in Bangladesh, the Hindu community have not learnt its lessons. It is not united as birth-based caste discrimination still happens a lot within the community. Untouchability is still widespread. Of course, such practices are prevalent even in other communities like that of Muslims, but the Dalit communities among Muslims are in better position as they are following the religion of the majority. So if other Hindus don't help and be inclusive of the Dalit community, Hindu Dalits will feel even more lonely and neglected, and some of them may even try to convert to Islam. Many have already done it. It's only in crisis that Indic religions or philosophies have managed to find innovative ways to survive and even thrive. The Bhakti movement of the medieval period fought against caste discrimination in Indian subcontinent. The Bhakti saints like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sant Kabir, Mirabai, Sant Tukaram and Annamacharya spoke against caste discrimination. If they and many more Bhakti saints like them would not have existed, many more people perhaps would have embraced Islam. Even Sikh religion in Punjab region made sure many don't become Muslims. So this is a good opportunity for Bangladeshi Hindus to rise above their petty caste differences. Hinduism should thrive and make sure Muslims, especially Dalit Muslims, reconvert to Hinduism or even Buddhism. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar chose Buddhism rather than converting to Islam, as both Hinduism and Buddhism have many similarities and are Indic religions, born in the Indian subcontinent.
Hello friends, is